In chapter 2857, as Kiera retreats to her room with a bowl of brown sugar and ginger water, her mother, Mrs. Caron, follows her, sensing her daughter's unease. Despite her attempt to conceal her feelings, her mother's concern is palpable. She sips the ginger water, finding it overwhelmingly spicy, and expresses her displeasure, suspecting her mother used an excessive amount of ginger. Mrs. Karen insists she drink it to ward off the cold, emphasizing the importance of maintaining her health. Kiera admits she lied about feeling unwell to avoid her mother's scolding for returning home early from work. She feared her father would dock her salary, so she concocted the lie to cover her tracks. Mrs. Karen's initial frustration quickly turns into a lecture about the importance of health and the need to seek medical attention for any menstrual irregularities to ensure future fertility. She stresses that girls should not be shy about addressing such issues and should always seek medical help when needed. Kiara reassures her mother that she is not the shy type and admits she was only trying to avoid trouble. Mrs. Karen, with a hint of humor, acknowledges her daughter's boldness, confirming that Kiara is indeed not one to shy away from speaking her mind. She then inquires about Julian, noting his unusual absence. Kiera, somewhat defensively, remarks that Julian is a busy CEO who likely has evening social engagements. She subtly hints that her mother's concern for Julian is misplaced since he is merely staying with them and it is not his home. Mrs. Karen's response is pointed, suggesting that she is being naive. This comment stirs Kiera's thoughts, making her wonder if her family has already noticed Julian's affection for her and chosen not to mention it, allowing her to treat him as just a friend. Reflecting on Julian's recent confession of love, she becomes more introspective about her feelings and the dynamics within her family. Curious about her mother's opinion of Julian, she asks directly. Mrs. Karen describes Julian as unfathomable, but acknowledges his genuine care for her and his respect for the entire family. This revelation surprises Kiera, as she always perceived Julian as straightforward, gentle, and easy to talk to, unlike Zachary, who embodies the idea of being unfathomable. Julian's consistent kindness and respect towards her family members have left a positive impression on Mrs. Karen, who increasingly sees him as a suitable future son in law. Kiara is taken aback by her mother's characterization of Julian. She reflects on her interactions with him, realizing that her perception of his simplicity might have overlooked deeper qualities that her mother observed. This contrast between her understanding of Julian and her mother's perspective leads Kiera to reconsider her feelings and the potential future with him. She begins to see Julian in a new light, recognizing that his care and respect for her family might signify a deeper, more sincere affection. The conversation with her mother leaves Kiera in a contemplative state. She realizes that her family's acceptance and admiration for Julian could be an indication of his true character and his genuine intentions towards her. Her worries about their differences in social status and the potential impermanence of his feelings start to dissipate as she acknowledges the possibility that his love might be sincere and lasting. She decides to approach the situation with an open mind, willing to explore her feelings for him more deeply. She resolves to trust her parents' judgment and gives Julian a fair chance, hoping that their relationship could blossom into a meaningful and lasting love. Her revelation marks a turning point in her understanding of Julian as she begins to see the hidden depths of his character and the sincerity of his affection.